Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. Going anywhere? I'm YouTube famous now. And you know it's the truth. So, it's the truth of nature, and the truth of the nature is that I'm really sad today. Because look, you guys, at my iconic trademark pink ultra hat, it's so dirty that I'm like, I think it's time for me to retire this old baby. But not yet! Not yet. Because when you have a good thing, you don't change it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, I'm sorry, Trisha. I'm really sorry. Before I start this video, I know you're watching it. Trisha watches all of the videos about her. So, Trisha, I'm sorry. Let me just apologize, first of all. Well, what had happened was, last night, I was driving around and I was talking to my good Judy Dustin and I said, oh, blah, 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 blah. We were just talking about kind of stuff and he said, did you see Trisha's video tonight? And I said, I haven't watched it yet. I was on the way to the casino. And he goes, well, it's like a question and answer she did off Twitter. And it's like the old Trisha. And I was like, oh, really? And like, it's so funny to me when people say the old Trisha. Like, oh, I used to love the old Trisha is what people say to me all the time. Or people will say like, I get this all the time, okay? Like every time a scandal comes out about Trisha, which is like every other Tuesday and every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, there's always something going on in Trisha Paytas' life, for real. So anyway, people are always like, so what do you think about your good Trisha friend now? And I'm like, seriously, would you expect any less? If you've watched Trisha Paytas for as long as I've watched Trisha Paytas, it wouldn't surprise you. And what's interesting about my love relationship with Trisha Paytas as a YouTuber is this, and I know a lot of people don't like her. I know a lot of people can't get down with her. I know that she's not their shtick, okay? I understand that. We can like who we like. We can love who we love. A lot of people like some people that I can't stomach for 2 seconds. But that doesn't mean that I unsubscribe to their channels or that I can't stand them or all those kinds of things, right? So anyway, this hat is distracting me. But anyway, so I was like thinking last night about some of the very first videos of Trisha's that I ever saw, right? And, oh girl, I feel like I'm sitting here talking to her. People are always like, when she comes into my YouNow stream, they're like, she's so normal on YouNow. Why is she so different on camera? I don't think she is. Like, she's the same on the phone and in text and in YouNow, on camera. Like, I feel like it's all very similar to me. Like, I don't see a lot of change in it, right? Like, it doesn't feel different to me. I don't know, but like, it just doesn't. So anyway, so I was thinking about like okay, so I watched her video last night, which is a Q&A, and I was like, wasn't this a series back in the day called like Trisha's Fishies or something like that? Didn't she do like a series with question and answers back in the day? I like couldn't remember, right? But I remembered it was like in her first year or two that she did it. And then I was like, she talks in there about, somebody said to her something to the effect of, getting out of debt. And she's talking about like when she lived with her mom and her sister in this apartment. I was like, oh my God, do you remember that apartment? She was like, if you go back and watch some of my older videos, baby, you should never have told this one to go back and watch some of your older videos, okay? Because I became obsessed. I had forgotten about something. Baby, Trisha Paytas' first year videos, fucking gold. I mean, they are fucking gold, okay? So let me tell you the rabbit hole I fell down with Trisha's Fishies last night, okay? It's so funny too, like now knowing her and going back and watching her, because I can remember watching these videos. Like the very first video I ever saw, okay, so here's how it all happened. So the very first video I ever saw of Trisha was, I'm sure I was on a diet because I'm forever on a diet, was some video that she called something like, I'm so tired of being fat, and the screenshot thumbnail was something like, I mean, it's always that, her crying on the kitchen floor. We know that, we love it. It's like when people come to me and they go, I'm so tired of her crying on her kitchen floor. Honey, it's her gig, that's what she does, okay? It's like if Roseanne no longer sat on that couch. Are you kidding me? Like, we'd be like, where's the couch? If Trisha never sat on her kitchen or bathroom floor again, we would be devastated. Those of us that love Trisha. And that's just the truth. So, I go in there last night, and let me just tell you, let me pull up my history here real quick. And the first video, so I searched. Well, the first video I saw of hers back in the day, back in the day, and it wasn't even her first year. It was like her third year or something like that. Was where she's like in her bedroom and she's in these sweats and she's like rolling around and she's bitching and moaning about how fat she is and she's bawling her eyes out. Do you guys remember that video? It was iconic. And that was where I absolutely fell in love with her. And then I remember she like was in her apartment and she was doing like a show and tell of like some of her, it was like a favorites video. We're gonna get to this favorites video in a second. And then I remember I saw a video of her when like Gigi Gorgeous was in LA and they went out and had lunch and she just was laid gorgeous and she was like sitting there waiting and I think it was a Gigi Gorgeous video. Well, at that point was when I became like a diehard Trish fan, right? And started watching all her videos. And so for me, for years, like I was a diehard Trisha fan. Well, I kind of fell out of it, to be honest, for a year. I don't know what happened. Like, you know, the last 2 years before I got on YouTube and making videos of my own, I was very busy writing a book. My own personal life kind of like exploded and went into a million different directions, and I just didn't watch videos as much anymore. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. It's like you kind of stop watching videos, and like I would hear, you know, here and now, here and then, here and now, here and now. That was a Luther Vandross song. But I would hear and then, like, you know, go watch a Gigi video or like a Glozell Green video, or like I would kind of watch some of Joey Graceffa's videos because I like read his autobiography. But anyway, or like Tyler Oakley's videos, who I adore, but his videos kind of got a little boring over time. I mean, I just would watch here and there. Todd Recall, I watched a lot of his videos. You know, Kingsley, but like I didn't sit down and watch like 10 videos a day like I do now, or like I did before, right? Because before I loved it. And Chris Crocker for me is the one who originally got me into all of this. And I loved YouTube starting with Chris Crocker. So, but there was a good 2 or 3 year gap in there where I just wasn't watching Trisha regularly. And before that, I really wasn't watching her all the time. So what's interesting is if you go back and you watch my career on YouTube starting in like September, one of my very first videos is like advice I'm giving her. And I say to her in the video something to the effect of, who is she making these extensive music videos for? Who? Like, I don't get it. Now ask me who the biggest Trisha Paytas music video fan is. This one right here. Who wants to be in Showtime? This one right here. Who's the biggest hypocrite of all time? This one right here. I'll own it all day long. I don't really care. I love the gal, okay? And she is totally, let me just tell you, for those of you that don't know and want to know and really care, there's a lot of you I know that don't care, but like who she is on camera is exactly who she is on the phone. I'm just being honest with you, okay? Like she is no different. Like she's exactly the same on the phone as she is on camera. Like I just don't see any difference, right? So I go into these videos last night because I was like, all these people say that Trisha's changed. Trisha's changed, Trisha's changed. And so I was like, I want to see what a phony ass bitch she's changed it into, okay? Now that she's got a little bit of coin and the girl's buying a G-Wagon and all this kind of stuff, I want to see what how she's changed. So I go in. So last night I watched her video, which is called Reasons Why I'm a Dumb Bitch. It's so cute, you guys. You have to go watch it, okay? And her hair looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's the hair that I used for the thumbnail on here, so I hope she's not mad about that, but it is what it is. So I watched that, and it's a Q&A, and I was like watching it, and I was like, didn't she used to do Q&A? So I was trying to go find them. But first, she and I had actually talked about her America's Got Talent audition where she meets Howard Stern, and I was like, iconic. So I had to go back in there and I had to watch that little clip. Oh my God. I'll try to link all of these below for you guys if you haven't seen them, okay? Because it is like Trisha at her best. Now that clip is really kind of like not Trisha, I have to say. That's like the actress Trisha. So then I went into Trisha Paytas' first video ever, which is 43 seconds.
Hey, what's up? This is Trisha. I'm super fun, super bubbly, have many talents, but one hidden talent. I'm a rapper. Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. I suspect with my brand new invention, something grab a hold of me tightly, fold like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo.
Do you guys remember this video? And what's really crazy is she looks like a really crispy Britney Spears in it. Like she is way too tan, but she does look like Britney Spears in it, okay? Which is so funny because then the very next video I watched was called How Do You Like Me Now? Do you guys remember this video? Love this video. This is right here, gold. One of my all-time favorite Trisha videos of all time, I think. This is gold right here. Gold, gold. Put gold, okay? How do you like me now? Go watch it. It's like, you know, she talks about how she used to be a stripper, baby. Well, you can see and hear how she has all the moves. Okay, so then I watched her white girl problems video, which do you remember when those videos were going around, like, white girl problems and what gay guys say and what lesbians say and what white, do you guys remember those videos? They were like that, they were real funny for like 2 seconds and then I didn't like them, but okay. And then I watched this video called Trisha's Favorite Things.
Welcome to Trisha's Favorite
Sugar Daddies, Thigh Masters, and Skulls.
It's my first one. I'm so excited.
That's not my camera, that's
Her
hers.
favorite things. Alan's got her favorite things. Now it's time for Trisha's favorite things. So, just really quick, I want to give you all kind of an update. Give you all like where I'm at.
Okay, and so what's so funny watching this video is that I was like, this is Trisha 10 years ago, I can make it. If you want to know, when people ask me questions and they're like, how do I start YouTube? I'm never going to get any subscribers. I'm never going to make it. Go watch this video of Trisha's, okay? Her very first favorite things video, baby. The focus goes in and out the whole time. And she does not care. And she's so cute in it. And she's so innocent. She's talking. And I couldn't even really get if it was supposed to be sarcastic or not. But then at the end of it, she starts going and showing things around the room that she's obsessed with, like her hair bows. First of all, she's come a long way because her apartment back in the day was a mess. But anyway, she talks about these hair bows. She likes sunglasses and all. She shows everything. It is so cute. But through it all, okay, so let me tell you the last thing. So then I watched Ask Trisha episode 1.
What's up? It's Friday, and it's the first episode of Ask Trisha, Trisha Answers. Woohoo! I want to dive into this really quick, but before I do, I wanted to thank you all so very much for asking your questions. Beyond flattered.
And do you remember when people used to do video reactions? Well, she talks in here about 3 girls that made video responses to her, and she's going to specifically answer their questions. Okay, you go in here and you watch this, and you can see what a lover of YouTube that Trisha Paytas really is. You can see how she loves interacting with her fans and how she always has, because it starts here. And the really interesting, and then I went in and baby, I mean, girl, I was screwed. I was like down the rabbit hole of Trisha's Fishies and her Ask Trisha episodes. I literally got through like 8 or 9 of them. And what was so funny is they're all like, she's always like consumed with them being just 10 minutes long, which is funny to me. Like, was that back in the day? Like, we wanted to keep minutes or videos at 10 minutes long. But what was so funny was that when I was watching this, I was like, if you are a true Trisha Paytas fan, if you're a true lover of Trisha Paytas, she really hasn't changed at all. Like, her look has changed. Although, I honestly think she looks better now by 100% than she did then. And, I mean, she didn't look bad then, but I think she looks much prettier and healthier now. And, you know, I was like, watching his videos and I was like, she's so genuine and sincere, and you can tell in her very first videos that she's not super comfortable. Sometimes she is, like when she's just like dancing and talking and BSing, but like when she's answering questions and stuff, you can tell that she's kind of very like careful and whatever, which I think all YouTubers start off to be. But there's a genuine innocence about her that I think attracts me to her. Like when I was watching her videos of her my favorite things, and she was showing everything in her room, in her bathroom that was a complete mess, and her flat iron and all this kind of stuff, I was like, these are girls I knew in high school, you know? These are girls who were the little sisters of my friends. These were the girls that, you know, like lived down the street from me. And I think to some degree, although she has amped it up and pumped it up to scandalous drama and things that we just have to watch because we're like, can this even be for real? And I'm not defending all of her behavior, because listen, just because I love Trisha doesn't mean that I always get with her gig, and she knows that, and she doesn't always have to get with everybody else's gig that she's friends with, you know? But I think what it is, there's an innocence about her, and I think if you don't get that, you probably don't like her, you know? If you don't see a part of yourself in Trisha, then you probably don't like her. And for me, I see there's very much a quality of myself in Trisha. I love YouTube. I love making videos. I'm very passionate about it. I love interacting with you. And it was interesting watching her first videos, because in a way, it kind of, like, the way she was made me feel like how I felt when I first started this, you know, just in love with this whole thing. And Trisha said something to me recently, and she said, I love when people start YouTube and they get excited about the early stuff. And she was referring to something that I had told her about myself. And she was like, because I miss that. I miss that early excitement, you know? And I think it's being introduced to anything and not becoming jaded and losing that refreshing innocence about it. And I love that through 10 years she's kind of retained that. I think that's an awesome thing. To continue to reinvent yourself over and over and over for 10 years is kind of a hard gig. So whether you love her or hate her, you kind of got to respect her entertainment gig a little bit, and I definitely do. So anyway, I know people are going to say, there were no secrets exposed. Oh, the secret was she hasn't changed. Don't you get my gig by now? Anyway, I love you, Trisha. Thank you for being such a good friend to me and always giving me great advice. Thank you to all of you guys out there for supporting me and watching my channel even when I don't edit and I make a fool of myself. And I love you guys so much. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.